Well, Stephen, Natasha, Diddy's ex-girlfriend for hire, going under the pseudonym Jane, was on the hot seat today under cross-examination, providing more details about her business and sex relationship with Diddy, and really getting into her jealousy that Diddy was showing a lot of attention and going public with rapper Young Miami.
Then fuck, like he called, we should kick it on the telephone and after the meeting.
Right.
And the nigga be like, matter of fact, they sent me the girl pictures, like pictures of this girl, like not the shit that y'all saw.
Hey, baby, we had a great time. Stay in the light. It's all good. Get your rest. You are the crack pipe.
A voicemail of Diddy allegedly referring to 50 Cent's ex as his crack pipe was just played in federal court, and now 50 Cent is responding, publicly calling out both Diddy and the woman involved, escalating this situation into a heated public confrontation. His reaction, as expected, is sharp, cutting, and deeply personal. But what's taking people by surprise is how complex the backstory is, one that ties into allegations of an exploitation ring, extravagant parties, and a tangled custody situation involving a child caught in the crossfire. Because this voicemail wasn't just scandalous, it was legal evidence. While Diddy remained silent during court proceedings, 50 Cent launched a response online, sharing past posts, parody clips, and personal jabs that hint at a long-running grudge, one that traces back to casting decisions for the hit series BMF. This isn't just gossip, it's part of a federal case. And it all began with a voicemail that wasn't secretly recorded or leaked. It was officially submitted and played in open court, with Diddy seated inside the courtroom, listening to his own voice played for the jury.
Speakers.
Hey, baby, we had a great time. Stay in the light. It's all good. Get your rest. You are the crack pipe. That's my new name for you, crack pipe. Or should I call you CP? But, yeah.
He wasn't whispering. Diddy wasn't whispering. He wasn't intoxicated. He sounded calm, almost as if he believed what he was saying was affectionate. This wasn't some forgotten audio clip from the early 2000s or a leak from a vault. It was current. This voicemail was entered as evidence in 2005. Federal prosecutors say the woman on the receiving end of that message is Jane Doe, the anonymous witness now testifying against Diddy in his trafficking trial. But on social media, and among those familiar with the situation, people are naming names. Many strongly believe that Jane Doe is actually Daphne Joy, a model, businesswoman, and former partner of Diddy, who also happens to be the mother of 50 Cent's son. For fans following the case, this is the detail that confirmed everything.
Date, and they spent 5 days in a hotel room. Said they had dinner on the balcony, they went all the way, and she let him know that she had a child with someone that he knew. This person did not get along with Diddy, but he said that he didn't mind.
Everyone is aware of 50 Cent's complicated history with Diddy, so when you connect the dots, the bigger picture becomes clearer. And surprisingly, that wasn't even the most shocking part. The courtroom audio continued.
I want you to stay in the light. You know what I'm saying? We had a very, very good time together. Like so much fun. So much fun. Now go rest up. Get in your bag. You know what I'm saying? Got your contract. Find a nice little spot. Put your mind at ease. And yeah, I had a great time.
Just one word contract completely changed the tone. What initially sounded like a playful nickname or casual flirtation suddenly appeared to be something far more structured, a financial deal, a transactional relationship masked as affection.
The break, the prosecutor showed text messages from October of 2023 where Diddy said to Jane Doe, "I want to spend the day with you." And she replied saying, "You make it crystal clear what you want me for." And then she asked him, "You're going to spend the day love bombing me?"
So what exactly was this contract? Based on testimony, Diddy was allegedly giving Jane Doe $10,000 per month, not just to cover rent. He also financed her home furnishings, dental veneers, and even her fashion brand. And she wasn't the only one. According to her, Diddy had similar arrangements with multiple women. Insiders now refer to these agreements as love contracts. But for Jane, it wasn't just business, it was deeply personal, Prosecutors claim Diddy used emotional and physical intimacy to pull her in, then kept her dependent through luxury and financial support. As she grew more attached, the situation reportedly became more controlling and complex.
Jane Doe calls Diddy a cuck and says she believes he has bi curiosity. After the short break, Teeny Garagos asked Jane Doe if she was willingly participating in these hotel nights. She said while no one physically forced her at the time, she was a willing participant, saying, "I felt I had to keep the relationship." She also said that the most affection she would receive from Diddy were on these nights and that she liked the parts when it was just him and her.
According to court documents, Jane testified that she was expected to attend private hotel gatherings and events involving drugs, intimate encounter, and at times hired male escorts. These weren't last-minute parties, they were prearranged encounters.
Coming in for 24 hours, yeah, you always wanted to set some up. So now you got the opportunity. So set some up for tomorrow night. That last vision we had was Dawn and ATL. See you put it together, baby.
And Diddy allegedly made it clear to her what her role was supposed to be. In one reported text, he wrote, "You got me on my job. It will never work like that over here. You need to get on your job." The implication was that her responsibility was to prioritize him and his needs. He also added, "You have left me no choice. You have me treating you. I am trying to be clear. I'm going to disappear on you." In another message, following a situation that went wrong during a private gathering, he allegedly her, "Look at the roof over your head and that pretty smile. I don't want to do anything if that's still an issue." Despite these messages, she remained with him until she was compelled to speak in court. If there was a moment when the image publicly unraveled, it was during this testimony. Under cross-examination, Jane Doe was asked a direct question. "You gladly accepted designer purses, correct?" Jane responded, "No, I got trauma." The attorney continued, "Do you know what a Bottega bag is?" Jane replied, "I'm sure you have one." When asked again, "How much does one cost?" Jane fired back, "How much does my body cost?" The conversation then shifted to her apparent jealousy of Young Miami, something documented in Jane's therapy notes. She testified that Diddy made his relationship with Miami very public, taking her on dates, walking red carpets, while Jane was kept out of sight, transported discreetly, and treated, in her words, like cargo.
Diddy's former chief of staff, Christina Koram, and asking if they got along well. She testified that KK actually disliked her and that negatively impacted how Diddy would treat her. She said, "I believe she had strong opinions about me, which influenced a great deal of how Sean also treated me." Now, remember in Jane Doe's testimony how she had said that KK told her to fly to Miami with substances in her bag? Well, the defense team pulled up a text message saying, "It's not written in these texts." Well, Jane Doe confirmed that it did happen, but it happened verbally over the phone.
This helps explain why Jane's feelings toward Young Miami weren't just personal, they became part of her legal argument. She claimed that Diddy weaponized their arrangement against her, calling her needy, jealous, and manipulative. According to her, refusing his demands meant losing financial support. At one point, her voice broke as she recounted trying to keep up appearances, covering bruises with makeup after an alleged choking incident during an argument. Yet, she continued attending hotel meetings, sending affectionate texts, and expressing gratitude to him. She told the court that life with Diddy felt like being inside a bubble detached from reality. Still, she admitted that, despite everything, part of her continued to seek his approval. But this is where her testimony took a more serious turn. Jane claimed Diddy didn't simply invite her to private gatherings. He gave her specific instructions, who to bring, what to wear, and when to arrive. She also testified that he asked her to recruit others and keep everything discreet. In return, she said he provided perks, paid flights, gifts, and rent. Prosecutors now refer to this arrangement as a freak-off enterprise, a structured setup involving women engaging in transactional relationships under blurred consent. And it wasn't just speculation. The love contract was real. Jane confirmed its existence in court, stating that when Diddy asked what she wanted, she requested $15,000 per month. He countered with $10,000, and she agreed.
Now, first of all, this was not a written contract. This was a verbal contract. You know how you and your man is talking and you asking him for some money to pay some bills. So I guess Jane Doe and Diddy were talking or whatever. And he said, how much do you want your allowance to be? And Jane Doe said, 15K. I want my monthly allowance to be 15K. And Diddy was like, no, it's going to be 10K. So they agreed on 10K.
A 2-year agreement was put in place, and Jane moved into a new home with her child. Diddy covered the cost of furnishing the house and provided funding for her to launch a fashion brand. But throughout this time, she was still expected to participate. In his lifestyle, she testified about one particular night labeled an all-star event where she and Diddy were set to host a hotel gathering featuring their top 3 male performers. Wanting to avoid the situation, she claimed she tried to back out. She sent him a text with a photo of pink toilet paper, implying she was on her period. His response, read aloud in court, was brief. Don't ask for money again. That exchange reportedly left the courtroom in silence. At that point, the issue wasn't just whether Diddy had significant control, it became a question of whether Jane was being victimized or simply treated as a favored participant. For every difficult account, there seemed to be a luxury item. For every allegation of abuse, a financial benefit. For every party night, there was a hotel suite and a formal contract. Even the jury appeared conflicted, but 50 Cent wasn't. As soon as this court development hit the headlines, he reacted publicly. He posted an Instagram photo of Daphne Joy alongside a courtroom sketch and added a sarcastic caption, "Hey, does anyone know who Jane Doe is? I'm trying to research this." Though the post was deleted shortly after, screenshots quickly spread across TMZ and every major hip-hop blog, making his message clear. This wasn't just a joke. 50 was publicly identifying her during an active federal case. Then came another post, 50 Cent and his son, Sire, giving a well-known side-eye to the camera with the caption, "WTF," but 50 didn't stop with memes. He reportedly contacted his AI team and released a parody video titled "Freak Off Family Matters," a spoof of the classic sitcom intro. In this version, the footage was re-edited to include Diddy, Daphne Joy, Cassie, Young Miami, and others associated, with the freak off allegations all dancing to the theme music.
It's a rare condition this day and age to demand a freak off with so much rage. A stranger's addiction that you'll never find. Some people say that he's losing his mind. Well, then there must be some magic juice inside the one show. 'Cause all I see is a chocolate thing. Milk busting over everything. Days gone by. It's the biggest break of the sand.
Just when it seemed like 50 Cent was finished, he played what many consider his boldest move. Back in 2023, when speculation first began about Diddy and Daphne Joy being more than just friends, 50 quietly made a strategic decision. He cast Young Miami and BM, the Black Mafia family series he executive produces. At the time, it appeared to be just a professional collaboration. But in hindsight, it's being viewed as a calculated statement. Think about it. Diddy's rumored partner featured in a show controlled by 50, while Diddy was allegedly involved with 50's ex and the mother of his child behind the scenes. And if anyone believed this was fueled only by jealousy, they may want to reconsider. During that period, Daphne was still living in a house paid for by Diddy, still receiving monthly payments, and still bound by the so-called love contract. 50 reportedly knew about her relationship with Diddy, and rather than react emotionally, he turned the situation into business. But what many called his most personal move came on Father's Day. Instead of posting a heartwarming image with his son, 50 uploaded a message that read, "Happy Father's Day, Little. I'll have full custody soon. Little, you'll be back on OnlyFans in no time." Little, the post was widely seen as aggressive, especially since just months earlier, 50 Cent had reportedly filed for full custody of his son, Sire, allegedly due to Daphne's involvement in the legal case surrounding Diddy and the broader exploitation ring investigation. But Daphne didn't remain quiet. In fact, her response shifted the conversation. By then, online discussions had all but confirmed the identity of Jane Doe as Daphne Joy. Between courtroom sketches, leaked testimony, and digital evidence, public opinion had firmly tied her to the case. At first, it appeared she was overwhelmed by the controversy, but then she responded with a direct and emotional Instagram post. Rather than just defend herself, she issued a pointed statement addressing both 50 Cent and the public. The message read like a declaration saying, "Let's put the real focus on your true evil actions of raping me and physically accusing me. You are no longer my oppressor and God will handle you from this point on." She publicly accused 50 Cent of forced encounter and physical abuse claims that shocked many and shifted the narrative. Daphne also denied Lil Rod's allegations, rejected claims that she had ever been a paid escort for Diddy, and responded legally by filing a defamation lawsuit against 50 Cent.
She explained to the jury that love bombing was a very common manipulation pattern that she would get from Diddy, where he would shower her with affection and then he'd want a hotel night. She responded to him again saying, "I'm not an animal people can F on," and he responds with, "You're crazy." She said that he would call her crazy often, especially if she said she was uncomfortable with doing a hotel night.
She testified that every time she requested something, a new couch, money for her child, or a dental visit, she understood the implied cost, access to her body. And even when she tried to say no, Diddy would allegedly remind her that the cameras were still recording, suggesting they could just have a movie night instead. That's where her testimony currently stands, still on the witness stand, still becoming emotional, still speaking out against one of the most influential figures in the music industry, and yet the situation remains complex. Diddy is reportedly still covering her rent. 50 Cent continues to share memes online, and Young Miami is still seen riding on the back of Diddy's bike, smiling unbothered, almost celebratory.
You're so funny.
So I'm just riding around the city, you know.
Living, yep.
Riding around the city today, we just celebrated. We outside, we painting the city red. It's off the grid. The Love album, Off the Grid, coming out tonight. It's the Super Bowl of R&B. As y'all can see, I'm in my city. And I'm just feeling good. It's a celebration. Feeling van-glorious. Happy birthday to my brother Nas. It's his birthday today. It feels good to be home, good to be putting out great music. To all my R&B lovers and fans, tonight at midnight, it's gonna return to that frequency, that feeling, baby. Yeah.
Because while the public debates, mocks, and reacts, the deeper issue remains. The real question isn't simply about who's guilty.